everyone. So we have another electricity shut off and I decided to use some time to make a video. And I wanted to talk about shopping habits during the war in Kyiv, which is relatively safe, although last week we had another attack from Russians, and that's why we had once again problems with electricity and connection. And also I have got cold and I couldn't drive myself to the office, so it was a challenging week for me. While the war is going, we are still living in Kyiv, in Ukraine, and trying to do our best to live like something like a normal life, hence still buying some stuff and doing shopping. And I am a marketeer, so I have this desire for consumerism in my DNA. Although I went for a year without buying myself any stuff, that was a few years ago, and I really went through that, not buying anything in terms of clothes and only necessities like for my daily living. And yeah, I have extended wardrobe, so I lived pretty easy through that. Anyway, what has changed now, because like I continue to live my life here in Kyiv. On the other side, right now I understand that many brands and many people who work for those brands don't have this privilege of keeping their job and keeping their income. So yeah, whenever I have an opportunity to buy something from Ukrainian brand, I do it, whether it's for myself or what is more often for my friends, as presents, or for my parents, or to send someone a thank you from abroad. So yeah, obvious new habits that I have acquired are Ukrainian brands, so focusing on those, although I still buy some non-Ukrainian brands because I understand that people who operate business through bringing certain items from abroad and then having their margins, they also have a place to live in this economy. They're paying taxes, they have people employed. So I don't eliminate it entirely, but still the share of Ukrainian brands in my monthly spendings have risen really high. Ukrainian symbols, so yeah, we became very proud of Ukrainian colors, Ukrainian symbolic, obviously. We became very united behind that, and to be honest, we are very famous for really beautiful designs. So the sense of colors, the sense of and I'm not talking about yellow and blue right now. So we have lots of local traditions and oriental styles that represents Ukraine, and yeah, I have started buying more of those, either for myself or for my friends and family. And this one is actually, so it resembles Japanese culture, but this is actually tractor who is taking the tank, and this is about the real life story when the tractor has stolen Russian tank. Before that, one thing is the charity comes first. We have started to do to donate more. We have various organizations that help our army, that help people who are temporarily relocated, etc. So donations first. Yeah, it has grown the share of my monthly spends once again significantly. Yeah, what else? Not very much minimalism here, because once again I understand that just keeping my money, it's a good thing. It's nice to have savings, but right now, to be honest, sometimes we are not sure who will survive the next month in terms of, yeah, you might get shelter hit every week, so it's not that you try to keep your money to get some savings, but rather you understand that investing right now in the economy will help other people to survive and have their salaries. Hence, I've started to spend more on the services from people. Like I have a personal coach who is a beautiful girl relocated from Mariupol, and she's an amazing coach and she helps me a lot. Well, I have therapist, obviously. I started doing massages, and yeah, I do more food delivery, and I'm going to try a service of like pre-planned food delivery with a healthy menu for the week. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, Then additionally, what I have started to do is started to check brand's origin. So we have a Telegram bot where you can input the brand, and then, well, it's not entirely accurate information, but they still provide you more or less the situation, whether this brand is still operating in Russia, what is their position, or maybe it can have origin from Russia. So I make my decisions to purchase certain brands in Ukraine based on this information, and also I have a link, and I will add it into the description, where I can recheck my information, which is, I think, the Yale University have conducted the list of brands, and they update the status. I don't know how regularly they do that, but still another source of information for decision making in terms of which brands to choose. And yeah, the problem here is, for example, brands like Nestle and all their sub-brands, and brands like Auchan and Leroy Merlin, I hope I pronounce it right, it's a French brand, they keep operating in Russia. So like by default, I don't want to buy these brands anymore because they pay taxes in Russia, and those taxes are used on military as well, which goes back for bombing my cities. And the problem is that if I will boycott it only in Ukraine, that means people who work with those brands, who have salaries, who pay taxes, they most probably will be eliminated because their sales will go down, their market share will go down, and this is underperformance. And yeah, obvious reasons like, guys, but you operate in Russia, for them doesn't work because of business perspective. Russia is a very big market for consumer brands, hence losing this big market, not interested for them. And even if they will lose their market share in Ukraine to zero, they will just eliminate everyone. And Ukraine is not the biggest market even in Europe. So what will be more effective if people from Europe would be boycotting these brands, because they earn way much more money, especially in France or in Switzerland, where first of all their headquarters are, and the second of all, most probably they have a higher margin. Hence, if anyone can boycott them outside of Ukraine, that would be of a huge help. Even if you don't buy like the product once in a year, or buy it less and just switch it for another product, another brand, that will help a lot, because that will still impact their market share. So this is, I think, the most the biggest habit that I have acquired. So I'm checking every brand on their position and on their origin, and most of them I just eliminate from my list of shopping. And I have also added a new line of expenses, which is my hobby. I had to switch my hobbies because I used to do lots of diving, travel several times a year for diving and things like that, and now I can't do that, and I needed something to take my head off. So I started doing Aikido and Iaido. So that requires me to buy a kimono, and also hakama, and also katanas and stuff like that. Some of them were presented to me by friends also to support my new hobby, but most of them I have bought myself, and I still pay also for services of taking lessons, and I'm happy to do that. So and in terms of overall shopping, I started to buy more presents for my parents as well, and those are sometimes very convenient things or important things for their life, like trackers, like Apple Watch or something like that, to track their health, because right now we are all under some certain pressure, and that doesn't help your immunity, and your stress responses are actually starting to harm your body rather than to help it. And the last but not least, I have a list of items and which I would like to buy now, but I understand that now this is not the best time for doing that. And there is some luxury items that I was planning to buy during last year, but when the year happened, obviously the high priority was to donate those money rather than treat myself to some kind of luxury purchases, and I put that away and I put that aside for when the war is over, and some like really stupid stuff, but I still keep it for myself, lightsaber, but I want to have a quality one, a really cool one, and I think it will be really cool to use it as a light when I walk my dog in the evening. But I really always wanted to have a cool lightsaber. Now it's not the time to buy it, and I will not be able to find one really good one in Ukraine, so basically ordering it on eBay and then bringing it to Ukraine, now it's not the time to do that. Yeah, and what is not a new habit, but what has actually grown over the time, and this year and last year it became even stronger for myself, is purchasing online, because I used to purchase online a lot, but now I also purchase groceries, basically almost anything, food and things like that. Once again, because when you purchase online, it also includes certain services as delivery, so you are not only helping one business to operate, but also you pay for delivery, and hence you help people who work in delivery services to operate, and that generates their salary, and that generates taxes. So although I think it is in certain way my personal indulgence to put it I'm helping economy to operate just through buying more, but at the end of the day, I do think this is the time when you can do that, when the war is over, most probably my shopping habits will be very, very, very different. Yeah, and that's all.